Hello and welcome to Alternative Radio Cardiff. I'm actually here with Millie Davies, who is an actor, has been in several pantomimes and also a very, very talented singer, and her singer name is Millie Rose. You may have seen her out there. But how you doing, Millie? You all right?
Yeah, good, thank you.
Hi, Millie. Great to have you on the show with us today.
And there's
Thanks
the ever
for having
famous Tom Davis.
I know, I'm here.
So, Millie, who are you?
Who am I? What a broad
Apart from an amazing
question.
singer, because I've listened to one of your tracks earlier on today, and it was phenomenal.
Thank you very much.
Like, we'll play that later on towards the end to make sure you all listen to this entire recording.
Yeah, better listen.
You really are a great singer, Millie.
Oh, guys, I'm coming again. Literally.
So the floor's open. Who are you? What do you do?
Well, I am a 20-year-old singer from Cardiff. 20.
Try being 32.
No, it's fine. 21, innit? Yeah, I mean, I've been singing since I was little, but in about high school, decided I wanted to do musical theatre. Ended up being lucky, got an agent and stuff through my singing teacher. And I've done bits of acting, bits of singing, a little bit of everything, bits of adverts.
Oh, let's talk about your acting then. What have you been up to acting?
The most recent thing I've done would probably be panto, because, you know, the world kind of stopped after about January, didn't it? So I did Peter Pan panto in Swansea Grand Theatre.
So what character did you play in Peter Pan? I've got you down as a Tinkerbell, but...
I wish I was no, I love being Wendy, darling. Wendy, yeah, I'm always cast as the kid, which is fine. Be young forever. And you get to fly when you're Wendy, so that was fun.
So do they, like, string you up and, like, swing you across the stage and everything?
Literally in a harness, like a big nappy. And, yeah, I had, like, cycling shorts on for all the padding underneath my nightie.
So what's that like? The first time they hoist you up, how did you feel? Was that scary?
Well, I remember, because I've done panto 2 years in a row now. The first year I had to go for, like, a lesson. So I turn up in London for a flying lesson, not something you do every day. And honestly, it's harder than it looks. You've really got to get, like, your balance. You've got to lean forward way more than you think, and also try and make it look like you're not in pain. Smile through the fact that you've got a massive wedgie.
Yeah, you don't want that to go wrong. So when you're doing your panto, so have you played alongside any big stars, any soap stars or anything like that?
Yeah, funny you should ask. This year I was very lucky to play alongside Tristan Gemmell, who played Rob in Coronation Street. I personally don't watch soaps, but as
Rob,
a guy,
like, isn't that what? Is that the one who's?
it was his big story over Christmas.
So he plays. Oh no, I'm talking about the one that got kicked off the show for being a nonce.
It certainly wasn't Tristan. No, I was about to say he's a really nice guy. He's certainly not.
Sorry, I will.
Not one of those.
I think you might need to edit that bit. No, what was he like?
No, he's so nice.
Let me just explain. Okay, there was actually a guy. There was a big
That was
scandal.
Kevin Webster, wasn't it?
No, it wasn't Kevin Webster. It was Irene's son, and like Jason Thomas, who went in Big Brother. It was the guy who played his brother, and I saw like he'd been done for some
Misdemeanors.
Well, yeah, if you want to call it
Awful.
pretty savage misdemeanor.
Yeah,
Anyway,
it definitely wasn't him.
this is why you don't hear me that often on the
That
radio
was
station.
not Tristan Gemmell. That was not him. No, he played Rob. I think he was a chef in it, but it was like his big storyline over Christmas, where I think he got murdered. I mean, I'd say spoiler alert, but if you haven't caught up from Christmas, you're well behind. Leave it.
So what's it like when you're on a cast with that amount of people? Like, do you have like an amazing camaraderie by the end of it, or are you like ripping each other's eyeballs out?
Yeah, no, to be fair, like, it's like 6 weeks of intense get to know everyone. The rehearsals are like, it's a 2-week period, so it's not very long. But you're kind of forced to live in each other's pockets. You know, 2 shows a day, you get 1 day off a week. But to be fair, we were out like 3 nights a week, onto Wine Street, Pop World.
So were you like literally dying on stage every day?
No, like, to be fair, my friends are like, how did you not get hungover?
That's because you're 20.
Well, no, there was older people too. But like, it's more the adrenaline, and it's like, yeah, just keeps you going for the 2 shows. You don't have time to be hungover.
Oh well, fair enough. I mean, so Millie, what's your favourite stuff to do then? Do you prefer acting or do you prefer singing?
I mean, I don't like to choose between the two, but I guess I'm probably more known for singing recently, just because of kind of what I can put on social media, I guess, is a bit more awkward to put kind of just pure acting work on social media. So
you were telling us a little bit about that earlier. So you were saying you were having like difficulties like posting videos of yourself singing and stuff like that.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really sure of the like proper ins and outs, or whether it was just a hoax, or maybe someone just didn't want me singing on Facebook anymore. But I saw like this whole thing, and like lots of my singer friends were sharing it, like be careful what you post, any covers and things. Facebook are kind of clamping down on live streams and things, because obviously during lockdown, I know I did, and loads of other people I know kind of turned to doing live streams, kind of maybe weekly or fortnightly or whatever, as a bit of a kind of concert thing, because we can't perform live and in person. But I kind of saw this thing, be careful, the live streams for communicating with family from afar rather than promoting yourself.
And I was like, absolutely buzzkill these people.
I know, it's like, that's what social media is for, mate. It's literally for...
Bill from Mark Zuckerberg rocks up at your door.
Can you imagine? You've got enough money, mate. Cheers.
So what have you been working on more recently then? Did you work on like any music or any writing or anything during lockdown?
I mean, I definitely told myself I was going to do way more writing, and my singing teacher's like, so when's the next song coming out? It's been over a year now since your last, and I'm like, it's so hard to get kind of the motivation and creativity when the world's literally upside down to write songs, I guess.
Yeah, so nothing sort of like, you haven't written about anything in the Times or anything like that at all?
No, to be honest, I do want to write more, but I'm actually thinking about maybe auditioning for drama school. So I've actually been focusing on learning kind of material that I need.
What would you like to star in? If you could star in any programme that you wanted to, what would you fancy?
Do you know what? If they made another season of Game of Thrones, I would love to.
And which character would you be, or what character would you like to be if you made up your own?
Oh, I don't know whether I could make up my own, because the storyline was pretty dead.
I'm going to say it, but I reckon Arya Stark is...
Oh my gosh, I didn't want to say it like, but... Obvs.
I'm quite embarrassed to say this, but I'm probably like one of the few members of the world who haven't watched Game of Thrones.
Well, if there's anything to do over Christmas, it's definitely watch it. Get the box set.
I'll have to binge it.
Do it. That's what I did. Literally binge the whole 8 seasons, I think. Or how... Is it 10? I don't know. Watched them all in about 3 weeks.
So I know you were speaking to us earlier on about your boyfriend. So your boyfriend's a musician as well. So do you guys ever like collaborate and kind of work on anything between yourselves?
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, he's literally like, oh my gosh, that was going to sound so cringe in my head. But I was going to say he's like my right-hand man, but that is disgusting, like vom. But because he's a producer, it's really fortunate for me that if I want to like cover any songs or record my own, that he can do it all for me at a very good price, free, which obviously saves me a lot of money. But he's also a very, very talented songwriter, and he did collaborate with me on that one song I wrote.
Well, okay, well let's steer it back into the song that I want to play in a minute, or we want to play in a minute.
Yeah.
Which is actually a cover, isn't it, of
Over the Rainbow, is it?
Wizard of the Oz song, isn't it?
Yeah, so technically the one I did is like the Eva Cassidy version, but I think I chose to sing it over lockdown. Well, we actually had my dad's cousin passed away, but she loved Eva Cassidy. So because I couldn't sing at the funeral because they were only allowed 10 people there, I recorded it and they played it, which apparently went down well, which is nice.
Oh, what a lovely way to commemorate her.
Absolutely.
And what we're going to do now then is we're going to give you the treat of letting you listen to the first song from Millie, and I have to say it is a beautiful voice. So yeah, let's kickstart this.
Alternative Radio Cardiff, Arc FM.
Up high
are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Someday I'll wish upon a star and wake up where the clouds are far behind me, where troubles melt like lemon drops away above the chimney tops. That's where you'll find me. Somewhere the rainbow skies are blue, and the dreams that you dare to dream really do come true. If happy little bluebirds fly above the rainbow, why, oh, why can't I?
Wow, that was Somewhere Over the Rainbow by Millie Rose. That was phenomenal. I really, really like your voice. I think it's actually...
It's beautiful, Millie, and you really made that track your own as well.
Thanks, guys. Thank you very much.
So, go on. after you.
So I was gonna ask you a little bit more about like your musical training and things like that. Like I know you went to Corpus Christi High School.
Yeah.
So like,
Big up.
Big up Corpus Christi High School. So what were they like, kind of pushing you on with your talent and things? Did they kind of recognise your talent and things from a young age?
Yeah. I mean, to be fair, they're like, obviously I'm biased because I went there, but the best school for like really supportive, all the teachers and stuff. And I mean, I always like singing and dancing, and I've been doing all of it since I was about 3 or 4. But when I was in year 7 and kind of first sang in front of my music teacher, Natasha Evans, there you go, there's a shout out.
Shout out to Natasha Evans.
Yep, she'll definitely be listening because she's still supporting me. Yeah, like she was like, oh, you should really get some professional singing lessons because I think it'd be worth kind of investing.
Wow. So tell us a little bit more about your musical training then. Who was like who was like the biggest driving force in your musical career?
I mean, my singing teacher, Louise Ryan, is definitely very supportive and kind of tells me whether I'm right or wrong and whether I'm crap or good, and I'm glad there's someone honest. It's not just all, oh, you're so good, Millie. Like she is, if I do something bad, she certainly tells me it's terrible, and that's good.
Yeah, you need someone to give you that little bit of constructive criticism sometimes.
Absolutely. Yeah, telling me I can't count from 1 to 4 when I'm not in time with the music, you know.
So like once you first started doing your training, so like how often, how many times a week would you have musical?
Well, I have singing lessons about once a week, and nowadays I have it once a fortnight. But I mean, I sing pretty much every day, whether it's practicing songs or
what genre would you identify with, do you think? Well, what's your favourite?
Probably, I mean, mostly musical theatre to sing, because when I started my lessons, my teacher tended to use musical theatre songs because they can be kind of technically difficult or whatever, and you can kind of focus on working on technique within those songs, and then I just ended up kind of developing a love for that then.
So is musical theatre then, to somebody who doesn't know much about music, me, is that like on the classical side, do you think?
I guess nowadays it kind of depends what side of musical theatre you're listening to. Say like you go for like an old school musical like Carousel, say You'll Never Walk Alone, not the Liverpool chanting version, but like the classic version would be more kind of classical sounding.
Captain Tom version.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, actually, it's Michael Ball did that, didn't he? And he's a musical theatre guy. But nowadays there's musicals like Six, and they're literally inspired by Ariana Grande and Little Mix and all things like that, and they're like a literal girl band based on Henry VIII's Wives, which is a really class musical. Six, and it's all about, they kind of argue through the whole show about who had the worst life, basically, who was treated the worst by Henry VIII, and then at the end they're like, oh, wait a sec, we're all girls, girl power, and all that stuff.
Where are these guys based?
This is a musical. It's in the West End at the moment. Well, if it could open, it would be in the West End. It did a UK tour, which literally was probably the last thing I saw in the Millennium Centre. But it's sick. If you ever see it touring, or if you're ever in London, go and see it.
Sounds great.
It's a real feel-good show.
Right, okay, so let's get on to this amazing track. Amazing. Something More. This is one that you've written yourself, is that right?
Yeah, my boyfriend Tom and I wrote this one together a little while ago, and he produced it all for me, and I just sang on it, basically.
So where did the lyrics and inspiration come from?
I mean, they can kind of be interpreted in lots of different ways, I think, but for me it was more about, I was going for lots of auditions, like sent by my agent to go for loads of auditions, going back and forth London and things, or self-tapes now, that we can't really do things in person, but and you're not constantly getting rejection or constantly getting no, but there's always a few knockbacks in everyone's career, and it was kind of about that, but realising that, you know.
How do you deal with the knockbacks and things like that? Is it quite a grueling process going like through a lot of auditions?
It can be, but I think if you want to be in the industry, you've got to have a thick skin, and I think as soon as you know that, and you know that even the greatest of actors and the singers have all had no's and rejections, then it's just like, come on, you're one of them, like, carry on, get on with it.
So if there was anyone else who was like kind of going down that road, what would your advice be to them?
Just generally, like, you're not the only one. You're not the only one in that boat. Everyone basically goes through it, and just carry on. If you really love singing, you really love performing, or any...
And there's a song lyric, isn't there? Pick yourself up and try again.
Absolutely. Well, just carry on, like, if you've really got the love for it.
So is there any like auditions which like stand out to you as being like particularly bad ones? Any like stories you could share?
Hilariously, my audition for Six. Yeah, that was... I mean, I've danced since I was 3, but for some reason it's the thing I'm literally most nervous about doing in front of people. And The first round of this audition was purely dance based, and it was kind of like the stereotypical audition for a show where everyone's a number. And this is not putting down the 6 auditions or team, by the way, in any way, shape or form. Like, they were great, but it was like 60 of us in a room and we all wanted the same thing, and there's only 6 parts going, and we all had to like learn this routine, and I was just completely just taken aback. I was pooing myself, not literally, but mentally pooing myself. I didn't poo myself in the audition.
I should certainly hope not, Millie. That would be very unbecoming.
No, but it was scary, and I didn't even get to the second round, which I was gutted for, because I didn't get to sing in front of them, and I was like, they didn't even hear me sing. They might have liked me then.
So is that like something you'd look to go back in for and have another crack at? Like?
Yeah, I mean, definitely, and I've definitely been working on some of the dance routines I found on YouTube in my bedroom. It's like, I will get in the show one day. But yeah.
Okay, well, here we go then, without further ado. I stole your line there, Tom. So, this is Millie Rose with Something More.
Alternative Radio Cardiff, Arc FM.
Somebody call me a doctor, 'cause I don't think I'll last. A world won by lying, I'm stuck here trying my face against the glass. And I'm home, despite my efforts alone. There's something wrong with my face and my body. There's no doubt that I'll be wanting something more. I'm wanting something more. Holding my breath as I'm waiting for a job I'll never get. Sat by the phone, my anxiety's prone to take over my mindset. And I'm home, throw my feelings a bone. All I hear is talent's essential. You don't need credentials. We're wanting something more. I'm wanting something more. Take it from me, the broken drama queen. Just be you, you don't have to fake it. We're all trying to make it. All I can see is broken drama queens hanging
What? That song was absolutely incredible.
Me and Josh's jaws just literally landed on the floor after that. We were completely in awe of that track, Millie. It's absolutely fantastic.
Like, you held that note and then, like, it goes up again, and then it goes up again.
And my face is purple, but you just can't.
That is incredible. I am literally outstanding. That is brilliant. Right, well, don't really have anything to say, so you crack on.
So I was gonna ask you one more question, Millie. So I was gonna see if you do you ever delve into any other genres? Like, have you ever played with like a rock band or anything like that?
It's literally the dream. Like, all of my friends are in. How did you know? Like, that's really random.
I just
that's
read your mind.
You're like Darren Brown.
Well, I must interject and say one of the powers of Alternative Radio Cardiff have is.
Got to be careful there, Josh.
I've got to be very careful there. Alternative Radio Cardiff is putting singers behind bands or in front of bands. So we'll talk about that after the show.
Yeah, no, all of my friends are literally in bands, in rock bands, and I go to their gigs all the time and I just think, come on guys, you need a backing vocalist.
You just got to rock out, like.
Just, my one friend promised me that we'd sing Manic's Your Love is, why can't I think of the, your love alone is not enough, not enough, that one. Brilliant. That one.
You don't want me to sing on this show.
That's why you're the presenter and not the...
Sorry, guys, I've got to apologise. I'm getting carried away now. I'm thinking I'm going to join a rock band. Let's do
it. Yeah, he was like, I promise, one gig, you can come up and we'll do that song. And I was literally rehearsing the lyrics for this one time where he's going to surprise me and get me on stage. It never happened, and they're not even a band anymore.
We're going to make that happen. I want to see that.
I think we're going to make that happen.
The dream's going to become a reality. You're going to be rocking out.
We'll speak to Nick Pendry. He's our director of musicians.
Fabulous.
And he shall, with a nudge, do as he's told, I imagine. But we're going to be running live events just to talk about that as well at some point. As soon as we're allowed, we're going to have an explosion event, which we have all original music coming out as well, and some collaborations and some time for you guys that have been all cooped up just to go out there and unleash onto a good audience that's there ready to listen as well. So keep that dream alive. But back to what you were saying, Tom.
Oh, I can't even remember what I was saying now. Yeah, rock band.
Delving into different genres. That was
That's right. So, any other different genres?
I mean, I listen to quite a varied. I listen to loads of different types of music. Kind of whatever my mum and dad were listening to when I was younger. A bit of 80s,
Go on. What music did you grow up on then? What kind of inspired you in the first place?
I mean, to be fair to my parents, they took me to a lot of musicals when I was a kid. I remember going to see The Wizard of Oz in the Millennium Centre, and my parents dressed me and my brother up. So I was dressed as Dorothy, which is quite cute. It's like a little summer dress and glittery.
And how old were you when you went to that? Well, how old were you when you went to your first musical?
I must have been probably 5 or about 5.
Right, I've got to tell you the story as well, because where I first found my appreciation for that sort of art, when I was 18, I was taken to New York by my mother, and she bought us some proper no messing about tickets for a Broadway show of Phantom of the Opera. And I was there 18, knuckles dragging on the floor, and I'm like, oh God, a bloody musical. And I went in there, and my life has changed since that moment. I remember seeing them singing at each other on the stage, and I just walked out and thought, that is fair play. That is absolutely incredible. And so powerful, isn't it?
It can really move you, stuff like that. I can always remember going to see Miss Saigon.
Oh, I love
that broke me down to tears by the end. Me and my father combined.
Yeah, I actually got to sing with a guy who was in the tour of Miss Saigon, and I was totally fangirl, and I was like, yeah, I did come and watch you, and I loved you. You were amazing.
Right, okay, so let's talk about the future then. What is in the stars for you now? What's the next step?
I mean, I'm just kind of like holding on to whenever they reopen theatres and kind of give us a chance to sing live. I've been lucky enough to, over, just after lockdown, I went to London and did a little concert there with a lady called Christina Modestu, but it's just things in Wales need to get moving as they are over there. So
yeah, we're looking after Christmas for that, aren't we?
Yeah, I think so. My friend works in Tramshed, and he said that hopefully they'll be open about March time.
I think that's a really annoying thing, isn't it? Just like the not knowing, like. And I
think, I'd love to say, oh, I've got this planned and I got this planned. Like, unfortunately, I had like one of my biggest gigs that I was really looking forward to cancelled in January that had already been rescheduled. But
what was that?
I'm actually not allowed to say, which is really annoying.
Ooh,
But that's so annoying. It makes me sound so like up myself. I can't actually say.
makes you sound really big time, to be honest.
It makes me sound big time. I'm not. The person might be, but I'm not. Yeah, but it's just like, I don't want to be negative about it, because there's obviously light at the end of the tunnel. You know, we've got vaccines and things like that, which means that we are going to be able to do things. And the way we did the show in London was there was kind of perspex screens in between each bubble or household or whatever, and everyone wore a mask.
I think what we need is orbs. Everyone needs to go to the concert in an orb.
Yeah, and just
Have you ever seen the film Mars Attacks?
no.
Right, so they all run around with like big bulbs on their heads.
Perfect. That is so 2020.
Could have a game of orb football afterwards.
I'll have a chat with Boris and see if he's up for it.
Yeah, big Bojo.
See if we can get Boris and Drakeford on board. I'm sure they'll accept my call.
You come up with some wackier things, though, I've got to be honest. Right, okay, well, so Millie Rose, you know, we are hitting that half an hour mark, which we like to keep it there, so I'm going to be the buzzkill. But where are we going to find you?
Well, you can find me on Facebook. My Facebook page is Millie Rose. My Instagram is like MillieRose_music. My Twitter's not that interesting. You can follow me if you really want. It's Millie Davies with 3 S's, yeah. But I'd go for Facebook.
Or
Facebook's the one.
If you are trying to
YouTube.
if you are trying to reach out to get in touch with Millie for any reason whatsoever, you can actually contact her via Alternative Radio Cardiff at gmail.com until we get our dubbing sorted out. But yeah, we're all here to help as well. So, Millie.
It's been a pleasure having you on the show.
Yeah, and thank
Thanks
you
very
so
much,
much for sharing those songs. They're amazing. And yeah,
Anytime.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
See you again soon.